Hi, it's me again. I wanted to share a little bit about myself from my experience. Now, when I was at school, I used to go to a convent, Assumption Convent, and I was never bad, but I was naughty. I was mischievous. I used to get underneath the nuns' great big white habit, and it used to be a great big heavy white habit that they used to wear. And I would crawl around under the habit while she was busy marking books, and the class would be hysterical. And she would say, now unless you tell me why you're laughing, you're going to all be punished. They would never ever tell on me. And eventually she would turn around at some point, and there I was, and she would just say, you naughty girl. Now my mother used to come to the school and beg Sister Cabrini, please give her a hiding. She'd go, no, we love her. I was just their girl that they just loved. I was good at sports, and I was never bad, but I was certainly mischievous. And you know what? I couldn't stand boring. So I was like that, right? So my life went on to be one that was always full of mischief, and I liked fun. And 4 years ago, I'm 66 now, so it's about 4 years ago, I'm walking through my lounge, completely minding my own business. And I've got an armful of washing to put in the machine, and God suddenly cuts in and speaks to my heart and says this to me: I never created you to be a sex bomb. That was never my blueprint for your life. It was absolutely cut to the heart. And I put my washing down, went into the corner of my lounge, and I said, well, then I don't know who I am. You see, in my past, coming into Christ even, I had a swag. I had long blonde hair. I had an attitude. I used to dress a certain way, and my brothers used to say, but you're a Christian. Dress like that. And I go, well, it's simple. God will use me to touch those people's lives. I will relate, and they will relate to me. So I just still had my swag, and I had my way, and I had an attitude. I had an attitude. So when God suddenly cut in and said to me, I never made you to be like that. That was not the blueprint of how I made you to be. I sobbed and I sobbed and I sobbed, and I said, then God, I don't know who I am. And I experienced a very interesting thing, and I'm sure a lot of you have done this. For Easter, you put a pinhole in the top of the Easter in the egg and at the bottom of the egg, and you blow the inside of the egg out, and then you paint it and decorate it for Easter. Well, I experienced that very thing being done to me. Very softly, soft breath, he blew, and blew all of that was in me, that I had been cultivated to be a certain way. He blew it out of me. And I then said, now I'm in a worse position, because now I'm completely empty, and now I don't know who I am. And I cried and I cried, and this is what he said to me: the blueprint that I made for your life to follow was this 3 words. I created you to be soft and gentle. Well, I went from absolute crying. I absolutely laughed. I said, then we've got a lot of work to do. Soft and gentle. I've always been kind, but soft and gentle, nah, that was never one of my attributes. I would say, this it's like that, let me deliver it like that, because I am not a scaredy. I will talk the truth, and then I will come and pick you up, because now you've been lacerated. Now you're going, what on earth just happened? You weren't even ready to hear what God wanted to say to you, because you see, I just wanted to see you get better. And so I've always been like that. I see inside a person. God gives me those eyes to see that way. And I go, if you can just get rid of all of that, wow, you've no idea how amazing you're going to be. So I wasn't thoughtful in how I delivered. I would just deliver it. And there are many that can testify to that way about how I used to deliver a thing. And I would come and, cuddle you and not just cuddle you, but I would speak life and I would speak hope into your heart. So I laughed out loud, and then he said this to me: I created you to be an influencer. Well, that I could understand. And I could see, I can quite understand that, because at school, the headmasters used to say to my mom, she's a natural born leader, but she leads everybody naughty. She's just naughty. I never did cigarettes. I hated the taste of cigarettes. I never did alcohol. I never did those things. But I was just mischievous. Let's do anything that's possible. Let's get kicked out of class. So I was kicked out, 3 of us girls, it was 3 or 4 of us. We were kicked out of the Afrikaans class for the whole year. That is very bad, And then we'd bring our boombox and we would dance. That was cool, man. So when it came to write exams, guess what? I did very bad. And I didn't care, right? So I knew that there was a natural born leader on the inside of me, but I had to grow into that position. When God has spoken who He's made us to be, we don't see that ourselves. I never saw that because I was so cultivated to be the sex bomb all my life, right? With my swag and my shush and my attitude and my designer clothing. There was a way that I was. So I now had to come to the place of seeing what God saw. So I had this beautiful, and I do have this beautiful biker's black leather jacket from South Africa. It's my favorite jacket. And I had to learn when I first got it that it would be molded to my shoulders. I had to learn how I could wear it. I could dress it up. It could be casual. It could have funky, but depending on what I wore it with. So I had to learn when God said, I made you to be soft and gentle and an influencer. And that's the blueprint of how I made you. So you will go on to influence people because of your life story. I had to learn to grow into that. So it's taken me a long time. I'm 66 now, and I'm only learning to come in and to be comfortable of who I am, and I'm beginning to like me because I've begun to change, and I love upcycling, and I was busy upcycling a chest of drawers. And when I'm upcycling, God really speaks a lot to me. And I was busy sanding down this beautiful chest of drawers, and I wanted to take it right back to its natural color. And then each of the drawers, I painted them a different color, but the frame was natural. And I heard God say this to me. Now we're talking of, this was in the beginning of lockdown. So this was round about April of 2020, right? And He said this to me. He said, if you will allow me. I love that about God. He never forces anything on us. He goes, if you will allow me, Sharron, to complete the process that I've started in you, you will then look and you'll see the beauty that I will make out of your life. So He brought, you know that scripture says He took us out of a miry clay and He set my feet upon the rock. And He began to work at me in ways that I could never have dreamed possible. And I looked at the wood, and the natural part of the wood, there was the most beautiful colors were coming out in the wood, and I said, wow, that is so beautiful. And he said, that's what I will do with your life. I will make your life so beautiful that when you look and you go, wow, wow. And he said this to me, it's up to you. Will you allow me? Will you allow me to process you? Will you allow me? And I said, Lord, I will allow you. I will allow you to process me, because I want my life to speak hope into people's, into women's lives specifically. I want to speak hope. I want you to see that God can take us from brokenness, can take us from a place where we've been cultivated to be a certain way, and he takes us to the place where he says, I will change your life if you will allow me. And so I hope that you've been inspired. I hope that you've been encouraged. I hope that as you look at your life, don't ever think that is who you're going to be, because it's not. Okay? So this is a bit of inspiration from Pingmoments. Sharron, thank you for listening.